So guys, it's time for another video. Well, you already know that because the video's playing. The Bassjaxx Color Wave LED wireless speaker. Just so you know, this is a Five Below product. This does cost $7. Not 10, not 8, but it does 7. After taxes, I forget the exact amount, but that depends on the state that you're in. Now let's talk a little bit specs, because this is something that, you know what, when I first saw it, there was quite a few speakers that I could have chose to do a review on. And I saw this one and so it looked pretty cool. It reminded me of the Green Lantern lantern. Anyway, it has an 1.5 to 2 hours of battery life. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to charge, so that's a good thing. 32 feet roughly. I'm just going to round it off to 32 feet in terms of Bluetooth. It is Bluetooth 5.3. I noticed that a lot of the products that they've been getting have had better specifications overall in battery life, sound, qualifications, things like that, so that's a good thing. Now, it does have a USB-C. Unfortunately, there is no other type of features whatsoever, like a longer battery life, but that's not life or death. This is Five Below. This is what we come to expect. It does have a LED color changing flow, basically in the front of the speaker, which we're going to check out in a little bit. Now, for you guys out there that hate long form content, and if you go into the description, it will be different sections and timestamps that you can click on. But with that being said, let's get right into the review and talk about whether this is actually worth the asking price, a whopping $7. So like always, I apologize. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more videos if you're into affordable tech videos. I have decided to change the structure of this channel. I'm going to end up doing like one popular name brand per week. And then I'll just do, lower end products from Five Below and other places that I just happen to frequent, stores. So that way you can still get your daily dose of decent products over time. Now, with that being said, this is how the product looks right outside the gate. The little plastic is on the front. I'm about to peel that off in a moment. If you look inside the box, it comes with your USB-C cable, which honestly isn't really that long. But if you're a person that already has USB-C cables at home, you already have devices that you can charge, you can use that cable, you'll be perfectly fine. What I will say is just be careful about charging it with higher wattage chargers. For me, I have a OnePlus device, and my chargers range from 130 watts to 120 watts. So it varies. You don't want to put 120 watts onto a product that takes probably 5 watts to charge. Now, with that being said, only things left is the instructions, which we're going to take a look at in a moment. But let's take a look at the speaker itself. That's what we're here for. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. That actually felt very nice to do. I was waiting to do that. So anyway, here is the speaker right here. I do apologize for the sniffles. I'm a little sick underneath the weather, but at the end of the day, videos don't stop coming because of that. Now, if you squeeze this actually feels pretty solid. I could definitely tell that they actually put time into the speaker. At least it appears to be that way. If you look at the speed holes, you could definitely tell that all of this isn't speaker. I'm sorry, I didn't have it in the camera view. Some of these have the speed holes where the volume is going to come out. So I'm assuming the volume comes out the back of it. You have this little felt at the bottom so that it's more like a non-slip proof thing. So if you're in the bathroom, other places you put this on a sink, it won't slip over. Trust me, I've had that happen with phones where if it's on an angle, it's slipped down and cracked the tempered glass. You do have the handle, so be careful of that. It's not movable or anything like that. This is pretty cool looking. And let's see how the lights look when you turn it on. All right, and that is how the lights look. Now, I am curious to whether this changes based on the music that you're playing. We'll check that out in a little bit when we go to the music section. But so far, it actually looks pretty cool. Now, for you guys out there that need instructions, that's the next section. I'm going to go ahead and go over this instruction manual with all of you, and we'll talk about it. All right, so instruction manual tells you what to do, power on, power off. Oh, apparently you could use the power button to pause music too. Short press is to play. Okay, short press is also to pause if you're playing music. Double press the power button to turn the lights on and off. We'll test that out, and you hold it to turn it on, turn it off. That seems to be all the controls. Right here, we have the section that shows you how to pair it and whatnot, which I'm going to show you in real time in a moment how to pair it anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. But this is for the people that want the instructions for themselves, especially if they're giving it to somebody else or it was given to them and they didn't have the instructions. So you're good to go. Let's just flip this side over and see what this is. Nothing of importance. You're good to go. Let's go over to the next section, which will be how to sync it. So this is how you actually sync the headset. It's going to be a pretty simplistic process. Hold the power button. All right, power's on. I'm going to give it a couple seconds to put itself in pairing mode. Apparently, you don't have to physically do anything outside of powering it on. It should automatically go into pairing mode. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to go to settings, like I normally do. We're going to head over to Bluetooth, and I'm going to press pair new. The process is pretty much the same for most headsets. You just have to give it some time. So let's see what pops up. Here we go. Color wave speaker right here. I'm going to go ahead and tap that. It's going to ask me, you know, allow. I always allow it. You don't have to. You can just press pair. The speaker is synced. Now, you may wonder why it asks people sometimes to ask for your contacts. I don't know if that's an invasive thing or not, but I will say that some speakers do have the ability to actually be able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Recite the person's name when you call, or, you know, it depends on the properties of the speaker. That's something that you're going to have to individually check yourself. But most Androids ask you for that, so you don't have to worry about that. If you choose not to allow it to get your contacts, no harm, no foul. The speaker's still going to work the same way for the most part, unless it's a higher end speaker. But anyway, with that being said, very simplistic process. Now let's go into the part that you're actually here for, and that's going to be the quality of music. So, full disclosure for anyone that is new to the channel, whenever I do a video, I don't use any equalizer whatsoever. I use the speaker in its natural sounds. So right now I'm using a file manager. For anyone that's familiar with Android, you can definitely tell just by looking at this that this is file manager. There has been no alterations to anything that involves music. So what you're going to hear right now is a speaker in its purest form. And if you happen to buy it and then you use a mixer or something to change the sound, that's on you. But I want you to, know what you to expect when you first purchase this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and play Warzone first, and then I'll play Ice, Fire, and Ice, something I normally do just to add the vocals so you can hear two different sounds. Apologize for the sniffling, I'm sick as a dog. So far, it sounds pretty good, actually. Let's see, is anything bad here? Make sure. Sounds pretty good. Let's turn it up. Let's hear the max volume. Sounds very clear. I like it so far. This is a really good speaker. This is surprising. They've been on a winning streak lately, Bassjaxx, with speakers at 5 below. And this one is cool looking. Like, this is the type of speaker where I would just hold on to just because it looks cool. I would just keep it plugged up on my computer desk on, connected to nothing. Now I wanted to test something. I'm gonna press play. Pause. So I was right. So when you press play, it looks like this is like a screensaver right here. So when you play the song, it looks like it goes toward the beat. Let's test the theory. Yep. That's like the equalizer setting, where it shows like the vibration. Sounds really clear, really good. Okay, so that sounds really good. I'm going to play another song, Fire and Ice. This has vocals, and that'll determine how I really feel about it. Now, what I will say is that I do have more than one speaker. Normally when I do these reviews, I review it first, and then I come back and review it with you guys. Sometimes, not all the time. A lot of times I do it in real time, but I wanted to actually be a more responsible reviewer and have the product for a certain amount of time to see if it has longevity in terms of quality. Sometimes things break down in a week, you never know. But anyway, Fire and Ice, let's get into this. I'll wait for the vocals to drop. So far, it's very clean. It's very sharp. Though the volume is a little low in my opinion, but a lot of these speakers are. They're like personal room speakers. It's not meant to fill up an entire arena. Sounds good. Sounds very, very clean. And let's turn it all the way up just to hear some more. Yeah, it's clean. It sounds good. Okay. So let me say this. I'm a little excited. Let me catch my breath because I don't know if you heard my wheezing just now. Excuse me. So far, I like the speaker. Let me say that physically, it's very pleasing. I'll leave that part out. That's for the last section for you guys for the general consensus. Is it worth it? It sounds very, very good. Let me be perfectly clear that the speaker sounds very, very good. Let me just make sure that if it can make phone calls or not. No, it doesn't look like it can. Just portable design. Okay. This reminds me, this just looks cool. If I'm being honest here, you know how you find products that just look cool in general? This is one of them. Granted, it doesn't have the most premium plastic, obviously, but it still looks very, very good. Like if I saw this sitting in someone's room, I would just be like, oh, this is cool. I would think that they would just leave this on just for the color cycle and the scheme. Like it looks really cool. I cannot stress enough how much I like the way this looks. I think that it's pleasing to the ear. The speaker sounds very, very good. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. To add to this, I have used the speaker while connected to a game system, meaning like a phone. I didn't try it on my Nintendo Switch. I got to start incorporating that because some people want to use their Nintendo Switch and then connect it through Bluetooth and then hear it out loud instead of using a headset. So I will start incorporating that on all my videos. But for right now, this sounds very, very good. It's very clean. It's very clear. I don't think anybody would have any issues whatsoever. I don't think anybody would complain about anything outside of the 2-hour battery life. That's not that big of it. That's not that big of a battery. I think that 4 hours for Five Below should be the minimum. But again, I'm not the manufacturer. I'm not Bassjaxx. But physically, it looks good. It sounds good. It's pretty cool. It's pretty portable. I think any kid that opens this wouldn't have an issue with how it looks. This is something that I would throw in at like especially this is Christmas time. This is something that I would throw in like a care package. This headphones, other stuff, other electronics, a game that the kid wants, and just throw in some extra stuff to show, oh, cool, Christmas, hooray. They don't need to know what it costs as long as it's the thought that counts and you get them something that they like. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Too many people are spoiled when it comes to headphones and speakers and things like that. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get something nice. The sound is very crisp. The sound is very clean. It's very clear. I don't really have anything bad to say about it whatsoever. The bass is there. I like it. I'm just rambling at this point. It sounds very, very good. Now, with that being said, I am going to still do the last section. Should you buy it? Absolutely. Should you pick this over other speakers? Well, that's up to you. What I would suggest is follow my channel and just look at some of the other stuff. It's no paywall or anything. You can just compare speakers at Five Below that you see in the store. Search it up. I'm sure my page will pop up. I'm one of the few YouTubers that do discount products and go from there. And that's pretty much it. So with that being said, let's go over to the last section. Is it actually worth it? So for anyone wondering if this is worth it, you may have skipped the entire video, just wanted to go to, is it worth it? Short answer is yes. Long answer is yes. Now I'm going to explain why. Now, granted, it does have like that 2-hour battery life, I believe. Just want to make sure I got that correctly. Yeah, 1.5 to 2 hour battery life. Sure, it takes almost the same amount of time to charge it. That's to be expected with Bassjaxx products. Outside of the battery life, it doesn't have an IP rating, so don't take this to the beach. Don't have this around water, things like that. It's not rocket science, but I do want to explain it to some people that may think that it can get a splash here or there. Just don't do it. Be safe, protect yourself. What I will also say is in terms of sound quality, music quality, it sounds wonderful. I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. And to give you guys an idea, I'm gonna play it again. Watch this. Sounds great. Even at a higher octave all the way, there is no breakage, there is no issues whatsoever. Normally when I do reviews, I tend to give you guys a negative aspect of it. The only negative thing I can say is I don't know how long this product is going to last because it is Bassjaxx. They tend to make cheaper products. I will say that they've been on a roll with better stuff as of lately, but they do tend to make cheaper products. But for $7, you can't really go wrong. It color changes, it looks cool. The music plays according to whatever beat is playing, so that's a cool feature. And the moment you pause it, it goes back into its screensaver mode. I don't have an issue with this whatsoever. It's cool looking. I think that even though it's cheap plastic, it still looks good. I think it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And to be honest with you, even with all the products that I have, electronics, Bluetooth, different things, and speakers, I would consider using this on my computer desk to hook up to my Nintendo Switch because my monitor doesn't have sound coming out of it, but it does have multiple connections if I want to switch between like 3 connections, 2 HDMI, and I forget what the other one is called. But anyway, the point is that this is very good. Buy it, buy it, buy it. I don't have an issue with it. I like it. I'm actually going to keep this for myself. Now, there is a toy drive going on at my job, and I've been donating things to like people's churches where they hand these things out. I'm not handing this one out. I gave them a lot of stuff. This is something that I actually plan on keeping. If I showed it to my wife, I think that she'll like it. It's cool looking. Granted, we don't play anything on a speaker out loud because we have subwoofers all around the house and stuff, and Google Homes and things like that, so we don't really need it. But I still actually appreciate the fact that this product came to Five Below, and it's high quality for the price tag. It's not bad. But anyway, like and subscribe like always, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.